Hi, everyone, and welcome back. This is another episode of Tai Chi For You. And this episode, well, we just celebrated the unofficial start to summer. And why don't we make it the official starting to work on yourself? We can do that in many ways. Of course, I recommend Tai Chi and Qigong, but there's also just that idea of whatever I tell everybody, listen to your body. So if it says, like, you know what, the weather's not too bad, maybe I'll start that walking I wanted to do when I thought about it in the winter. So maybe get out and do that. But great weather today. I mean, the weekend was a little iffy, but we pulled it off. It was nice weather. And probably like a lot of you, um, I went and had ice cream. So nothing wrong with that. Everybody should have in moderation. But at the same time, I just got through talking to someone before I went for ice cream about eating healthy and exercising and all that. And I don't know if that triggered it, but that was the urge. I wanted ice cream. So anyway, that's kind of what my story was for today. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention too is the beginning of summer and you're outdoors more, you're out in the sun more. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Um, had an incident today with a student, and I think it was just a little heat stroke, maybe, and not enough water that might have got him a little dizzy. But anyway, he's doing better. That was just, I'm not a doctor, but that was just my thought. So I immediately started drinking more water and really making it um, again part of getting back to, because you fall off the wagon with your healthy eating and exercising and all that. So I was noticing I wasn't on my drinking water um, pitch to myself. So I'm starting it again, hopefully by saying it out loud and proclaiming it to the audience. Drink more water. One of the things I just started doing too with water is adding a little salt. And they say the Himalayan or Celtic salt or whatever, but not table salt. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a full glass, but you want that first thing in the morning before coffee, before you take your vitamins, before breakfast. And I just started doing that about a week ago. And right away, I noticed a difference. And then I started doing it just before going to bed, just that little bit of water, the salt in the water. And again, it could be all placebo, who knows? But I did feel better. I felt I got a better night's sleep. So that, I'm just passing it along. The idea of drinking a little bit of lemon with maple syrup with your water, too. That's another way, just trying to get more water into, because I know people, it's hard to just drink a plain glass of water. They do have those squirty things you can get too, but be careful of sugar and all that. I'm not going to preach to you because again, I like ice cream as much as everybody else. So um, the other thing I wanted to mention, well, let's talk about last week's show where I had a guest, Dr. Amanda, and she was able to really talk about some, I'd say, groundbreaking technology, where the idea of using patches to help the body recover from injuries or losing weight. So we had some great responses. I had over 13 people contact me with, about the show and about the patches. And I actually put one on and felt something right away. And I have another one on tonight that's sort of a um, energy grounding idea to it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll tell you how that worked next week. And next week is going to be June. Imagine that. So Dr. Amanda actually agreed she's going to be coming back. She had such a good time, and she got some positive responses too with people that watched the show from her end, her clients, her friends, and they were able to get um, a lot of information, even though they know her. It's again how we repeat things, and we're able to hear it again, maybe at the right time, in order for it to click in. So that's kind of how when I teach the Tai Chi, it's the same moves. I might say it a little bit differently, but you're able to take it in and digest it. And sometimes it sticks that week. Sometimes you're like, oh, I got it. It's like, why didn't you tell me that? I've been saying it all along, and now you're just more open to it. So just like we talk about the basics of the basics. So the basics, when we get up in a few minutes, we'll talk about those. But the basics, again, with the other idea of the water, of the right amount of sleep. These are basic things that you want to be doing it almost subconsciously to improve the body's function. So again, sleep's very important. Water, obviously. Taking time to meditate. And when I say meditate, that could be just maybe tuning out all the electronics in the room and just, calmly breathe in and breathe out and just sit there and slow the mind down. And that's fine. You don't have to do it for a long time. You don't have to sit on pillows and light a candle. And if you got the time and if that's what you feel you need to get to that level, that's great. But just a walk in nature maybe, or just that time out from the phone and the TV or the computer too. So that's, again, just different ways of getting that, getting to that state where your body can sort of recharge and listen to your body to what it needs. You might be saying, the body needs protein, and all of a sudden you're craving a burger, or you're craving. I like getting the bison, and I sometimes I just get that craving. I want that. So again, try to eat clean, get enough sleep, exercise, meditate, and really the you'll notice the difference in yourself. And that's all we're really looking for, is for you to notice the difference to improve your life. So take a sip of water. If you can stand up, that's great. If not, we modify everything so you can join us if you have to sit down. We like to do our basic warm-ups, and that is that ancient ringing the temple bell. And this one right here does not have to be done fast, does not have to be done hard. You want to just loosely start to twist, feel connected. By that, I mean with the feet, your balance, starting to move the chi, or getting the blood to flow. It's a gentle movement. It does some stretching. And then we do our 500 claps. This move right here is, again, it's starting to stimulate, wake up the cells. This is a great one to do in the morning, where we go up the arm and we go down the inside. I'm just doing it lightly right now, the tapping. You can also do a brushing. So it's up the outside and then down the inside. You can do a little firm, and that does feel good, but it's also serving that purpose of moving the lymphatic system is very important. We want to start to flush out any toxins, things like that are hanging around, maybe some stiffness in the arm or the joints. This feels good, but you want to build up, if you could, to that nice strong waking up and really tapping hard. Same thing with the legs. We want to start on the outside of the legs. And this move can be done, again, modify it to your needs. If you want to try to just get down as far as you can, and if you can get to the ankles, that's great, and come up the inside. We can use a step ladder or a table or a chair to rest your leg on it, so when you go down and come up, just like that. So get the energy flowing. Let's go down the outside and up the inside. When we go to the back area that where the kidneys are, I like making that little knuckle and just start to massage and get that whole area warmed up. That lower back, people have issues there. So any type of massage, you want to call this, or warming up that area, we're getting all the blood out to that surface lightly if you want to tap, and then bring it around to the front. And again, that tapping, and work the sides. You can go high and low. You don't have to go too hard, but you want to be able to start to feel it and be able to, I guess, take that shock or that the punch, I guess, if it's something, if you're going to get punched, or, you know, your kids come at you or something like that, you want to be able to, you know, if you get hit with a sports hockey stick or lacrosse, something, anybody coming at you, you want to be able to take a little bit of that. And then that center line, we're talking energy, it goes out, and then right where the clavicles are, there's another area that you can just gently tap. There's a thymus right in the center too as well. All these, when you look up traditional Chinese medicine, or you could just do TCM for arthritis, TCM for stiffness or anything like that, and it'll give you some exercises. It also might tell you some teas that might be good, or eating, or just different ways that the ancients used to help overcome anything like that. Okay, and then we work that base of the spine and come up over the top of the head, and this is where we go under the eyes. If you notice, there's no wrinkles. Look at that. Ladies, gentlemen, no wrinkles. Under the nose, or less, I should say, on the chin. And then we talked about the lymphatic system. There's clusters of them throughout the body, but right under the armpit and down the side. Again, it's to get things flowing. Anything that's stuck, and we're talking energetically or actually physically in the body. Move it right along. We balance out on both sides. Just like that. We talk about the fingertips having a lot of energy points or nerve endings, just like that. So see, if we were sitting down, these are the same moves, but standing up, okay? And then we end with some palm or karate chops. We just work the side of the hand, and then on the wrist, just like that. Just let it hit and release, hit and release, hit and release, hit and release. Good. And shake that out a little bit. Very good. All right. When we also, and again, this is a great thing to do in the morning. It doesn't take much time. You might need more time doing your arms, and that's great. That's you listening to your body on how you want to improve your health. And the body's going to tell you, so listen to it. Tells you when it's time to sleep. Listen to it. Tells you when you're thirsty. Listen to it. Let's do our head to toe warm up. It's another great morning exercise where we're not overdoing it. We're just warming it up, starting to stretch. We go in both directions. And this is one way with the head. You could look up and then tuck the chin in to look down. anything to sort of get that, the top of the spine, to get those warmed up. A side to side is another great one. Some people have chiropractors, personal trainers. They're going to work with you and tell you maybe which one is best. But movement is medication. You want to be moving. If you don't lose it, you don't move it, you lose it. So we did some head. Let's do some shoulders now. Same idea. There's other ways to do it. I see people do the reach across. That's a great one, where they reach across. And you could stretch a little bit more or do some more reaching, but just as a warm-up maybe in the morning, just some easy ones. I like the rolling the shoulders, both directions. And then when we drop down now into that hip area, there's a lot of issues going on with people's hips, hip replacements. Or they fall in a crack. Get the hip, keep that lubricated by moving it, getting all those fluids to do their job with all the ball and socket joints and everything that the body. You could talk to a physical therapist about different stretches as well. They can give you some great tips. Good. Now, when we do the knees, again, these are light exercises. We're not trying to use weights, or, this isn't a no pain, no gain type part of the day. So, and the knees, they're tough. You want to have them around for a long time. Don't ignore them. Get that knee moving, and your body will thank you. How about that? Good. Same thing with the ankle. The people, they roll their ankle with something simple as the ground being not level on a walk. You want to be able to get out there and walk. So roll that ankle and get that full range of motion if you could, and balance it out on both feet with that range of motion, just like that. If you wanted to try to advance it a little bit with a lift and circle, and then add the arm. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, just shake those out a little bit. When we're doing Tai Chi, and I got overwhelmed in the beginning, I asked a bunch of questions. I encourage you to ask a bunch of questions, but don't get overwhelmed. The idea is just to sort of build on one thing at a time. So if the one thing that you want to work on first of all is that the posture, so we break it down into, they call it the 5 bows. And if you notice the arm, there's that open area. That's a bow. And to get into this one, before we start doing the legs, everything else, just push the elbows out just slightly. But don't hunch the shoulders up. Just relax the shoulders. And the wrists are relaxed. The fingers are relaxed. But you're able to not be so relaxed that you're half asleep and not feeling it. You want to be able to feel it, like you're almost holding a ball or hugging a tree, something on that line, that connection to the chi, the energy that's in the body, that we're drawing from all 4 sides, up and down, the sides, all that. So there's our arms, okay? The legs, same idea. There's some bend, there's some give, some bow. The knees are dropped. The toes are pigeon-toed in just a little bit, and the weight's going to be more on the front of the foot versus the heel. And this is, again, to help with that balance, with that connection to the earth, chi, okay? And this is a great area just to sort of meditate. You're not moving, but the idea is you're moving the energy internally. You're feeling that magnetic force coming up and circling around the body. Feel it come up the spine. This is the last bow, that spine, where we want to keep the back straight. And we want to visualize that idea of that pulling, that little hook, lifting that crown of the head. And the other side is that dropping down of the spine, that coccyx tailbone is being dropped down, but the back stays straight. So don't hunch forward like that. Don't get the weight over the knees. Keep the back straight, keep the shoulders relaxed. And this is a nice posture. This is a meditative position. Sometimes we show it where we're holding it up a little bit higher, and it's called hug the tree. And this is a great one to just breathe in and breathe out, that slow, deep breath. And the idea is to just relax the mind. By giving it something to do, you just want to maybe think about the number 3. And think about the number 3 times. As we breathe in, breathe out. And notice how you feel. It slowed the mind down. You felt relaxed. And repeat that. And see if you can't get a deeper relaxation feeling of the whole body relaxing and the mind relaxing as well. And let's return back to mountain. Good. The other very basic idea, we talked about posture. Now let's talk about the weight shifting of the body. And this is, again, done with a purpose, but not overdone. We're keeping that core, that center of gravity, however you want to talk about it. I'm not overdoing it, and then it throws everything off. So I'm just shifting that weight, keeping the knees bent, keeping the elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed, and we're just shifting that weight. The weight's more on the ball of the foot versus the heel, and start to feel what's happening with that energy, with that connection. So you're nice and grounded. And there's the shift the weight, turn the body. Just start shifting and turning. And you could do it a little bit differently. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. Some people have a certain routine that they can relate it to, like maybe like a dance move or a Pilates move, something like that as well. And then just start to move the arms. And it doesn't have to be exactly like me. If you just want to just get them moving and start to feel that energy, that chi happening. Maybe your fingertips start to tingle. Maybe you start to feel that energy connection between the palms. And that's what we want to stay connected with when we're circling. Let's bring them up and around and start to visualize we're building the chi this way. We're bringing it up and circling with our breath in and our breath out. Just like that. Good. When we talk about basics, we had the posture, we had the weight shift, we added the shifting, turning, we showed a little bit of the arms, and the other principle is that idea of opposites, maybe up and down. So do I hold the ball? Either hand could be on the top, but watch as they start to come down, the bottom one comes up, and there it is. They meet and they turn, and then it drops down and comes up, and I'm adding the shifting the weight, the turning the body. And with this basic, there's a few moves that we do in the Yang style 24 form. There's the wave hands like clouds, where it's just a little different. The palm stays in, But see how that shift the weight, turn the body. It can also be a peri, which is just an outside block, or a reverse inside block. We have another move that we call the beak and the whip. There's our shift the weight, turn the body. We come out like that. So all the moves have just that basic, when you watch someone or come to a class, the idea is every move has that component of weight shift. The hand is up, one hand is down. The weight shift, one foot is heavy, one foot is light. There's our weight shift. There's our hand up, hand down. So all these moves, it's actually a complete workout. And again, I stress it's not so much a cardiovascular workout, which, you know, we all should have some of that in us, where it could be just a brisk, when you're doing your walk, just do like a 30-second sprint and then get back into a nice steady feel the earth and walk that heel toe, and then get into a little sprint for 30 seconds, heel toe, heel toe. Again, you want the heart rate up, you want the blood flowing. All these things right here that when we talk about, it's to really just keep your body healthy, keep your mind going. That's the great, to have them both is such a blessing. So with that, I'll see you next month, and we'll talk about June, talk about some new guests, and we'll see you next week. Take care.